do, right?
Right. It is not Halloween. Can you turn the lights on?
Wait, I'm gonna turn the cameras on. I just want y'all to see what this dude is doing. Hang on.
If you don't turn these lights
Dude won't
on,
turn the lights
right
on.
now. You don't turn, and then I got black on. Look, you can't see that but my hands.
We see you. Yeah, we see you. Sexy chocolate over there. Look at that.
I'm trying to clean it up now.
Yeah.
You see how he get on the air after he had dark skin jokes before we got on the air.
I did not.
Yes, you did. But see, what you found out is you don't want to run up on no real G's that's dark skin. Mm-hmm. We can handle all of that. Mm-hmm. That's what you found out. Then you want to get on the air and tell me, pretty black sexy. No, Negro. Say what you said before we went on air.
I said, Jermaine, please turn on the lights because I didn't realize how dark it was until I looked at Michelle and Clark. You know, I've been to church, so I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then what happened after that?
I got my behind handed to me.
There you go.
Worded in that way.
Because I'll tell you right now, baby.
Clark called Elder Bard's name and all kind of stuff went down. It got rough up in here, and this dude still won't turn on the lights.
See, this is because the peoples that's
Jermaine,
not chiming in on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Turn these lights on right now.
Okay.
Got it looking like we ain't paid our bill.
Management, I need about $5 on the bill.
We're doing the show by candlelight.
If you don't turn these lights on,
that's only one light.
It looks like Halloween up here. Look at the glow. Look at the glow.
This dude is retarded.
Jermaine, what is wrong with you?
Well, I'll say you asked.
No.
She didn't really want to know. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Really
we were close out to pinch you because we said it the same thing, same time.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Well, you too much. Again.
You can imagine growing up in a household with this nigga.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, man. I got in trouble a lot.
The single.
Wait a minute. Where that come from?
I said this is why he's single.
Oh.
He don't know how to act.
I'm just saying.
He's irritating. Like, I feel sorry for women that's married to irritating men and men that's married to irritating women. Because, you know, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah. When do you know when to stop?
No.
He irritates.
Hey, you taking ESPN to the concert?
Actually, while you're playing, you understand me?
What's all it is?
Why Tourette's or something?
Yeah. Cookies. Why you understand?
Good morning, Shelby. I'm so sorry. You got to be exposed to this all the way in another state. What's up, sis? Tell that baby boy I said good morning. All right, family. It is Michelle Bryant here, WNOV 860 AM. 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. And real talk. I'm just telling y'all right now. Me and Clark, we handle Devo. I just want to be super clear. Super clear. Like all dark-skinned people should have been in the room.
I wish I could repeat what she said her granddaddy said.
We put a clinic on.
I can't repeat it though.
That's good. No.
What your granddaddy had said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't say that one. But you will hear it again. It just won't be on the air.
Everybody had that family member where they said they were so dark they was blue. That was my granddaddy. And that was his nickname. It was Blue or Perk. Perk for black coffee or Blue. He got called either one. So
really?
Yeah, his nickname was either Perk, you know, depending on which set of people it was. He got called Perk for black coffee.
Now, I don't know what it is for me, but really dark women are very attractive to me.
Don't start.
No. Darker than you.
Oh, I know. I've seen like some of the sisters that are models that are just like coal black, literally COAL.
So sexy to me.
Coal black. But have you seen the tribe of black people that got blue eyes and they're coal black?
I've seen it.
No, I haven't seen that.
Man, you got pull it up, Google it. That's the most stunning thing you have ever seen.
Gorgeous.
Coal black with blue eyes, and their eyes are blue like the ocean. Like it is incredible.
Because I've always heard that the blacker the berry,
you know,
the sweeter
the juice.
Yeah, he didn't have none of that though when the lights was out. He was
yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah, don't try to clean it up. All right, family, a lot to get to. I'm gonna say good morning to these people. Hey, Clark, what's happening, bro? Who you with?
I'm gonna say good morning.
And what am I supposed to say back?
With you, fool.
Clark, why don't you come over here and let folks see get on the camera once, man, and they'll see what.
Can you turn the air on, please?
Yeah,
Y'all make me.
I got it. I mean, you want me to turn the lights on, turn the air? What else you want?
You in charge of maintenance.
What'd you say?
Go over there.
Maid is in charge.
Yeah, he's in charge of maintenance.
I guess ain't nothing getting fixed around this.
Did y'all show Clark
He coming around the other way.
He'll be coming around the mountain when he comes.
Hey.
Stand right next to Michelle.
Coming around the mountain when he comes.
Stop aging yourself, bro. Stop aging yourself. Look, were you in the camera?
We
You ain't in the
black.
shot. Is he in the
Where
shot?
at? No, he ain't
Come
in the
sit over
shot.
here, Clark.
Once.
Right here.
Wait. Just stop.
There you go.
Just, dude, he don't
There
follow
you go.
directions real well.
Lean in, bro. You see it. Look at
He
that.
said you don't
Look
follow
at that.
directions very well.
Look at that gorgeous black. Don't play
Oh
with
my
us,
goodness.
bro. Look at him.
Hey, man.
Look at
Is that
debonair up in this piece.
is that mocha and
Nah,
what?
brother. I'm mocha over here. You understand?
You know what? We don't have time
I'm mocha.
for y'all made up colors. It don't say mocha on no application. It don't say mocha on your birth certificate. Race mocha. It don't say none of that.
I'm
You know, because all
Clark.
these little silly sisters.
Clark.
I'm caramel. Get
Hey.
your foolishness out of here.
Hey Clark,
I'm
what color
caramel.
would you define yourself? Yeah, what color are you?
What color is your
He said he white.
That's right.
No, you're not. You lied.
He said they light skin.
Yeah. Look, why we got to go through this?
Okay, Clark.
2025.
You can go back to the dungeon now.
2025. Thank you, bro. 2025. I ain't even speaking to the other two.
Dang.
You know, since black folks got control, the Carmel and
with you.
the Mocha brothers is left out.
I'm with you.
You know what? And look at the example we setting for kids on their way to school.
Well, you know what?
They're gonna go to school doing the same thing. That's
No.
why.
No,
We-
that's
we-
why
That's why.
I clearly stated in my
Don't fix it, because you started it.
Yeah, he
you started
He started
it. You
well,
started it.
Jermaine actually started
No, I didn't start nothing.
because
I
he
walked
refused to
in.
turn on the lights.
I walked into the situation that the lights went on. So what are you doing in the dark?
Hey, what
the
was
question
that? What
is,
was that song? Before you turn on the lights, or is it off the lights? Which one is it, Michelle?
Why would I know?
Debo.
Y'all
Let's
the
get one
band.
thing
Y'all the band member.
understood.
I don't know.
Well,
Who was that?
I-
UTF? No, not UTFO. Never mind.
well, I know when I preached my
It
first
was before you
message.
turn off.
You hear this, Michelle? When he preached his first message.
When I preach my first message, it's gonna be.
Oh, when you preach it, it hasn't happened yet.
Well, I did preach one before, but this when I preached my second message. My second message.
And how
is
long
gonna
you been
be-
preaching? You've been preaching about 20 years. He took you to his second message. The first one was so bad they said, take you some time off.
My second
But
message.
nobody
Gonna
want to
be,
hear it.
it's dangerous in the
What?
dark. Amen.
It's dangerous in the light line
Amen.
here.
Okay. I'm not really saying good morning to either one of
Dang,
y'all.
I didn't even
Oh,
see you last
oh.
night.
No, y'all have utilized y'all time this morning. So there are no good mornings. I'm moving right on into the show. So I just want to welcome everybody. I want to say, Brewers, hang in there.
Hey,
I see the Dodgers got at y'all 2-1.
man.
Yeah, man, we had a chance to win that game. right
Man,
at the
listen,
end.
at the end, the bases was loaded.
Bases
But
loaded, yeah.
If Turan would have got hit by the pitch, it would have brought in the runner, but
Yeah.
he moved out the
He
way.
moved.
Well,
But
I
that's
just want to
that's
say,
a body
that's
reaction.
natural, yeah.
I know that the Brewers are also known for stealing bases,
Yeah.
but some of them too big to be trying to steal. You too slow, bruh.
Yeah.
When they show what's his name, run into the base.
Yeah.
I was like, boy, I run faster than you. Y'all too big. You got the big power thighs and big old junk in your trunk. You too big, fam. Everybody can't steal bases. So that was
That actually came down to pitching because
Yeah.
our pitcher actually walked in a run.
well.
And we would have.
But
It would have been
again-
tied.
But again, so I'm just saying,
Yeah.
y'all Brewers. I like you got your hat on this morning. Hold
Oh,
it
yeah. I
down
ain't
for
gonna-
him.
We
Oh,
ain't
no,
going out
'cause
without
this
a
was
fight.
fair
I'm like the
weather.
ghetto boys. I ain't going out without a fight.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but because like Keith Paris, the most fair weather fan ever. He'll
Fairly
jump ship
well.
on you so fast.
Fairly well.
Oh, he just somebody said I'm high yellow, but check the box black and proud. You know what?
Hey.
I'm so mad at y'all.
Waffles.
Wow.
I'm so mad at y'all.
Wow.
And I heard nobody say high yellow. It's so low.
High yeller.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeller.
So low. But all right. So I just wanted to make sure I took a second and acknowledge the Brewers. Y'all gonna be all right. Y'all
We
gonna
gonna
be.
be all right.
Yeah, they need to play that coming out.
yeah.
All right, a couple of things. First of all, Jermaine brought up the video this morning that is getting a lot of attention here locally in town in relationship to an off-duty officer who was involved in a shooting that resulted in the death of a young man. And when you see the video, strong and wrong.
Man,
Yeah,
The brother
all the way wrong.
cuts
Man.
off the officer in a traffic situation,
Yeah.
and he's off duty, you know, but his I think that's his personal vehicle,
yeah.
but he got a camera
Yeah.
in his personal vehicle, and cuts him off. You can see the brother like basically caused what could have been an accident, and it fender bender, and they get out, they pull over, and the brother gets out with his hoodie on and aggressively walks up on the dude, talking loud, talking wrong, and then at some point, you know, like swings on dude, and then you know when dude gets ready to respond, he pulls out a gun and starts shooting at dude. Runs around to the front of his car, drops down, then comes up on the side. Now it's just a shootout, and he lost the shootout. But make no mistake, he was 100,000% wrong.
Yeah.
You got out wrong. You the way you was driving in traffic was wrong.
Yeah.
But the reason why we're bringing it up, it's not just about the video piece, and the family even coming out and saying we had opportunity to see everything, and you know this was not a situation of you know a rogue officer, somebody you know causing intentional harm, but there was a woman who had claimed she saw the whole interaction, and the way she characterized it, you would have
Yeah.
you know, you could have had a damn race ride in the town
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
because of the way she characterized it, and she was standing on
Yeah.
They lying.
yeah that
It
you
didn't
know
go
that
down
the
like
brother
that.
was innocent and it shouldn't have happened this way and blah blah blah.
Michelle,
And-
when people do stuff like that, I almost said something else.
Yeah, we heard it.
Shouldn't they be charged
Yeah,
with
they
something?
should. They should.
Well, it didn't lead to anything.
Yeah, but see, that's a false report.
And,
and I mean, but
stirring
did
up.
she? But she didn't make a false report.
But she all on the news.
No,
I'm sure
but
she told
she
the police.
said
To say, I'm
it.
sure they wanted to talk to
So
her.
And
you-
she was
you-
on Facebook too.
Yeah, but you know, but you didn't file a formal complaint.
She did something.
I mean, it feels wrong on a whole
Violated
bunch of
something
levels.
right.
But why would
But-
you lie? Like if you know you didn't see it, if you know you
Because 5 minutes of fame, 15 minutes
like
of
you
fame.
want that much attention.
I'm just saying, and it really is sad. And you know, the people around her, I'm sure, looking at her sideways,
Heck,
and
man.
some of them probably being like, "She do this all the
all
time."
the time.
You know,
Oh,
she
really?
over
All the time.
exaggerate. You know, because we know we got that person when they tell you the story, you always be kind of looking like, now how much of this
They're
is
always
true?
embellishing it
Yeah,
just a
you
little
know.
bit.
It's
And they'll be like, "Oh God, man, for real!"
I saw
Did-
everything, man.
You
I saw
know.
Hey,
everything.
Greenfield, did you hear that word?
What?
Embellishing it. You know,
Well, see,
I just
Debo?
wondered if you had heard it.
Debo, I was gonna leave you alone today.
No, I was just wondering
Because-
if you had heard the
No,
word.
see, I know what embellishment is, brother. I know.
You mean what? Of course you do. You
I
do it
know-
all the time. You do it all the time.
I cannot
However,
with
this young
you.
lady that wanted the little 5 minutes, 10 minutes of fame, whatever it was so out of order because for you to get up there and lying for something as serious as this, you lying, telling me you saw it, saying you saw everything and it didn't happen how they said it happened, and they lying, y'all. I'm so much in tears and this and this and that. Your tears was fake because you know good doggone well you didn't see what happened.
And they may not have been fake. I wouldn't go as far as to say
But
that.
for you to say, man,
Yeah,
that you
they
in
need to be
tears,
fake,
but
they was
for
fake.
you to say you in tears that the officer was lying, you lying and you weren't in tears. Because what you in tears for?
when
Because there's no
when-
way you see what happened with dude and you walk away going, "Oh, I feel sorry for dude. That was awful.
How?
You know, this man didn't deserve to die." Yeah, and I ain't saying, "Hey," but you
Right.
big
Know
boy,
exactly
this
what
man
you're
that
saying.
pulled his gun out and showed your whole behind, and you know it went wrong. It went really, really.
yeah,
wrong.
this didn't go right.
And I'm gonna say this too, just from my experience. I've had some days in the past like that I have jumped out and done something stupid, not thinking because
You're
of
We
trying
so
to
glad
whatever
you
the
have.
yeah.
We so glad you have changed.
No, seriously.
no, seriously.
And
We so glad.
like man, I've done
But
some
you have
real
changed.
stupid stuff, like Burger King, man, jumping over the counter and doing stupid stuff like that. But as you get older and you stand back, you be like, man, that was real dumb of me. Like that was stupid. I shouldn't have done
the
that.
stuff that I could have died doing, or gone to jail,
Yeah.
or took somebody's life over, and then at the end of the day, you like, well, okay, so was any of that worth?
Exactly. So
No.
now I'm like, man, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that, and I'm sorry for that. I shouldn't have done that. But I look at this situation and I see this young man, and I swear to you, I was like, man, this could have been me because I had that persona.
A lot of people.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people that could have been.
But I guess the one thing, and then I know you want to move on, Michelle, but just the confidence, if you will, that police chief Jeff Norman had when he said, "Oh, there's video, and we'll release it." I knew then that video was going to justify that officer.
And and let's also make the distinction too, because I had conversations with people about, one of the things we've always been in contention with the police department is how often body cam video is released and So this was off duty.
Right.
This was not camera, stuff that was necessarily controlled by the police department.
Right.
This was this man's personal,
right.
Video.
But what if he hadn't had it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh no.
It would have been her work. Yeah. It'd have been crazy.
Particularly if she would have been the only eyewitness to it. It could have went really, really wrong. We got a caller. Let's get them in real quick. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, okay. I was watching a delay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I have just only my concern, if I may say so, of this incident.
Yep. Go ahead.
And this is separated from the family part. Okay.
All right.
What I have a problem with. Okay. Yes, the video was given out, but firstly, how the video was obtained.
It was a privately owned video.
Right. Private owned vehicle. Right.
Right.
Possibly with taxpayer money on the undercover vehicle. Okay.
No, this is the private owners.
This was his vehicle.
Yeah, his private vehicle.
This wasn't a taxpayer
which he had
vehicle.
video in.
Okay. So therefore, you got to also look at what maybe had happened prior. Okay. Where's the whole video? The whole video before
you see the whole thing. You see
that was enough for me.
You see this brother cut him off in traffic, and then there's a little bit of a fender bender, and the brother pulls his car over. He pulls his car over behind him. The brother gets out, loud and aggressive. He came to him wrong, and then he goes off the rails. There is no question about what happened.
This is my thing is that if holding that is an accident. The best thing, if the officer knew they just had an accident, why come he didn't dispatch or call in that he needed assistance before?
Because he was off duty. This was just a fender bender.
Nobody would have expected that to go that way.
This was a fender bender. He didn't expect. I mean, because the guy pulled over, so it looked like two people just getting ready to pull over and talk about, here insurance information. It was something simple. The brother turned that into a whole, crazy, the brother was dead wrong. It just ain't no way to get around.
No, I understand. No. What I'm asking is about how the camera is being as far as what was all the way from the driving prior to that. See, sometimes you can have videos and only present things that only helps out one side, but it could just say. It could have been they might have interactions prior blocks before that. Okay?
Brother, the video is neutral. The video is neutral. It clearly shows from the off-duty officer. It's just like in my car. Hold on. Wait a minute. In my car, I got cameras, right? So if I'm driving and it's a car in front of me, I'm driving regular, and this car from the video swerves a little bit into the left lane,
I've seen that part. I'm asking about is there possibly that there was any other interaction before that video shown that it was an impact that caused them to pull to the side?
No, I mean, but even if let's just say it was. The brother still got out and was the aggressor. He was still the aggressor.
Okay, this is what I'm asking. Where is the other part of the video?
I think that you've seen it all. I honestly think that we've seen it all.
That's the way Milwaukee think, right? That's the way Milwaukee thinks.
No,
Wait a minute, wait.
I'm done.
it's
I'm
not.
done.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Okay, I got
Okay,
you.
see,
Look, it's not about that's the way Milwaukee thinks.
This
What you
dude
have
crazy,
got to be
man.
willing to do is make informed decisions and take stuff on a case by case basis. I understand why you would have the degree of scrutiny that you do. I understand the skepticism. I understand, quite frankly, the suspicion about anytime we have officer involved situations. Is there more than we're being told? Because we know historically that has been the case. But the other thing that we have got to be willing to do as a people is also take these things on a case by case basis and let our better judgment help us decide a decision and an outcome. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, before I go to break, that there might have been something else that we didn't see on the video. Let's just say that. At the end of the day, the one thing you see is the brother initiated physical contact with that man.
Exactly.
That man did not initiate physical contact with that brother. He did not get out the car all wild and bucky. The brother did.
And he didn't even have to.
The brother did. Now, this is just a case of fam handled it wrong.
Yeah.
He handled it wrong and he got wrong consequences.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so I hear you. But, and please let's not label people in Milwaukee because they disagree with your take or possible, belief about what may or may not have happened. We can't label all of Milwaukee as just suckers because they choose to look at this video through their own lens and their own experiences and say, this brother was wrong.
I mean, you clearly see that he was wrong.
He was driving wrong. He was wrong. And so I got to take a break. Call if you can, please hold through. And then we will get on with this. All right, y'all, I'll be right back. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Yep, say something real. We'll be right back. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. So we had some callers who held on through the break before we went to break, talking about the unfortunate situation where the video has been provided regarding an altercation between an off-duty Milwaukee police officer and a civilian, which resulted in the death of this brother, the civilian who was involved in this situation. And there was some question about, how things happened. A caller to the show a few minutes ago, talked about, was there any video that may not have been shared that would have shed further light on the situation? So that's kind of where we are. So let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, good morning, Angela. How you doing this morning?
I'm all right, and yourself?
Good. Can't complain.
Okay, so to that caller that called you a few minutes ago about the young man that got shot by the cop.
Yes, ma'am.
So if the family sees that the young man was wrong, bro, take your rose color glasses off. He was wrong. I mean, I give the family my condolences about losing their son or grandson or whatever it is, but he was wrong. It's just point blank, period. It's out there in the open to see that the young man did what he did first in order for the cop to shoot him.
All right.
It wasn't like he wasn't, in the wrong. He was. So, bruh, look at the video again so you can get a better understanding of what everybody else see that you don't see. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate the call. Got another caller. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I wasn't listening to the commercial, so I didn't know you were coming.
That's okay.
Talking to myself.
Good morning, John. How you doing this morning?
Really good. How you doing? Your conversation. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Well, it was really cool. Your last little statement was so excellent. It's an actual wonderful way of describing what social science says, is that you have to have methodological individualism in your social science analysis, because you can't have actual science without singling out stuff. You can't make indiscriminate gross generalizing. Does it make sense?
Yeah, definitely. I got what you're saying.
Yeah, what you guys were talking about, it was so wonderful. And I wasn't even going to say that kind of stuff because I was thinking just about our conversations. And I thought that was a beautiful little twist. And you're always bringing stuff like that forward. And so when you and I were talking yesterday, is it okay if we talk about that yesterday?
You know what? So let me do this. I'd like to do that in the second hour of the show, if that's okay.
If you want to do it later, I was going to ask.
I had planned to circle back around. I didn't forget. Let me work through a couple of these local things, and then we can definitely hit it up. Okay.
What do you think? Like an hour or so?
Yeah, like in the 8 o'clock hour, somewhere like 8:15 in there. We'll be up. We should be there.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, John. I appreciate the call. All right, family. So let me also, in terms of local stories, because, I do want to stay local for a little bit this morning. There was another story that outraged a number of people. And let me see if I can bring this up. Jay, can we check and see if I'm ready?
A closed daycare.
Fox 6's Bria Jones spoke with the child and her family, who say they want to see accountability from the bus company here, Bria.
That's right, Ben, Mary. It turns out the daycare was closed for today's federal holiday. When that child was dropped off, the girl's parents say that she started walking along Fond du Lac Freeway in tears. Now, thankfully, she knew her mother's number by heart when a stranger stopped to help.
I'm really smart, so I had to tell her my mom's phone number.
6-year-old Mariana Jones is the hero of her own story.
Everyone was just ignoring me. I was screaming, crying for my life.
Monday, the first grader at Samuel Clemens Elementary School was dropped off around 3:15 p.m. at Precious Blessings Learning Center, but the daycare was closed for federal holiday.
I was ringing the doorbell like 4 or 5 times.
Her family says a bus driver with Safeway Transportation Services, a vendor for MPS, pulled off, leaving Jones alone along Fond du Lac Freeway.
I got scared because I thought someone gonna creep up to me.
Luckily, within 10 minutes, a good Samaritan stopped to help and called Jones's mother, who was at work.
I'm just grateful that somebody was, paying attention to my daughter, saw that didn't look right, that she was young and she was crying.
Cordessa Stewart says due to miscommunication, she didn't realize the daycare was closed and believes the bus company could have done more.
They could have at least waited a little minute to make sure she was retrieved by an adult. She could have been hit by a car. She could have been snatched up by anybody.
Jones's grandmother, a bus driver for a different company, says she went to Safeway but was dismissed.
Their attitude was like, oh, well, it happened. We don't care. It's drop and go. She's 6. Kids aren't partial packages. They're precious cargo.
In a statement, Milwaukee Public Schools says in part, when students are being dropped off at a child care site, our procedure for the bus driver is not to leave until someone has received the child at the drop-off site. MPS also says they're grateful the child is safe and they're working to figure out exactly what happened in this case. Now, we also reached out to Safeway. They told us they did not have a comment. Mary?
All right. Fine. So, okay, not sure what's happening outside our window right now. It sounds wild. But so a lot of people very, very frustrated by what went on with this child. You know, the thing about it is when this baby describes the fact that she was crying and screaming,
Nobody stopped.
and no one stopped initially. You know, you see a baby in the morning at 6 years old walking by themselves and no one initially pays attention. And it made me think about the study that came out that talked about how Black children are dismissed in terms of public safety issues. They did the test situation where they put 2 girls, one white, one Black, dressed identically in the same location in the mall. And the white girl just stood there. And everybody came up to her, Black and white people came up to her. Sweetheart, are you okay? Is there anyone with you? Do you know where your mommy is? She wasn't asking for help. She wasn't looking scared. She just was standing there by herself. And all these people stopped to engage this little white girl and ask her, are you okay, honey? They then put the Black girl in the exact same spot, same age, and no one stopped to ask the Black girl anything, including Black people. No one stopped to ask the Black baby anything, including Black people. And so there has been study after study that talks about the adultification of Black children. So they are not seen as little people who need help, who need protection, who need, intervention, unless it's, law enforcement. And so to hear that baby say that, that's what resonated with me when I heard it. The adultification of Black children. You outside yelling and screaming. Why are you yelling and screaming? Do I just assume because you bad? You doing something you're not supposed to? And so to whoever that individual was that pulled over, this does not look right. They asked questions. Thank you so much to that community member, because this could have had a very different outcome for this baby. That's one. Two, and I love that the baby said, oh, I'm smart. Yeah, you may not know, but I know that I'm smart. And she knew her mother's phone number. And I remember back in the day, parents would go out of their way to teach their children their address and their phone number. Yeah. They made sure. And younger children who couldn't do that, parents would put it on a note and put it in their clothes somewhere or in their backpack or somewhere. They would write their name down. I am, this is Joshua Jones. His mother is so-and-so. And his parents today send their kids out the house with no identifying marks that you can tell who this child belongs to. And they've not taught their baby nothing. The baby does not know their phone number, does not know their address. So kudos to the mom for that. And somebody said, well, these were parents that just these were adults that failed this child, was one of the comments that I saw. And first of all, I'm just taken aback that there's a daycare closed on a federal holiday unless you're a federally operated daycare. So I don't know. Because who the hell celebrates Columbus Day? Like, outside of the federal government. So unless this was a federally operated daycare, that kind of caught me off guard. Columbus Day shouldn't even be a damn holiday no more. We need to stop telling that lie. He never came to America. We got a holiday for something that didn't even never happen. But that's just me, and I'm gonna get off my broomstick on that. But it's nonsense. It's utter nonsense that we have a whole holiday for something that didn't happen.
It's People Day.
Yeah, no. Well, that's not the same.
That's what the comment is here.
Well, Columbus Day is they switched it because it was Columbus Day and they switched it to Indigenous People Day.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but again, unless it's a federally run daycare, why are you closed? That was interesting to me, and I don't know. And something going down over here. Okay, that's 4. Yeah, and it. Oh, but this is the one thing I love when this happened because you get to see all the unmarked cars in the city.
Vehicles,
yeah, man. And then 4 like that, even though that's not one. Oh yeah, I like. I like it, y'all. We got activity outside the window.
We got action.
The police they rolling east on Capitol, so I'm not sure what's going on, but something clearly is
Michelle,
in the mix. Yes.
Happiness Donuts asked a question.
Yep.
And made a statement basically. This is on the mother. How didn't she know the daycare wasn't open?
Easy. I missed the note in the baby's backpack. I missed the note. Easy. I wasn't the one that picked her up from daycare. I mean, stuff happens, y'all.
And
it's easy. It's easy to do.
Yeah, and when you used to dropping them off or having them being dropped off, when certain days creep up on you like this, you'll forget.
Yeah,
that this
easy.
Is, it's an off day and it ain't the typical day.
I tell people all the time, my favorite example, I'm not going to be long-winded on it, but my favorite example is easy. When I was doing foster care work for St. Emilion, we got another one coming. Foster care work for St. Emilion Lakeside. And something major is happening.
They all through there. There they go.
There they go. Okay, so we are.
Are they chasing that car?
Oh, they chasing dude right here?
Yeah, it's a
okay, we're in the middle of a low speed chase. Y'all, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He done.
Okay, what did you do? We saw him. They're chasing the great. So look, if y'all are out driving, be careful.
Please be careful.
In the area of what street is that?
Atkinson to Tonya, they're headed that way.
Yeah, y'all be careful. They're chasing a gray car. And I don't know what this individual
in the middle of traffic though.
But he moving slow as all fire.
Slow,
so I don't know what they did, but if it's that kind of response,
it ain't even 8 o'clock.
Okay, now they over here off of 27th and what is that? Teutonia. Yeah. Like, and it's a low speed chase because it is thick out here.
And traffic is.
Y'all, can y'all hear this behind us? Where you at?
Right
there
there.
We go. He just drove past the studio, y'all. What did this dude do? The number of cars that's chasing this car is crazy. And all he's doing is driving around in a circle.
But he put other people's life in danger because these kids are going to school.
Look, y'all be careful if y'all moving around over here in the area of 20 Capitol, Teutonia, Atkinson.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, that's madness.
Wow.
But
where do you think he's going?
I don't know, but you done killed somebody.
You going to jail
with that level of presence. That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah. Whenever police is out like that, it's usually
Justin Fields posted Milwaukee that MPD pursuit of a silver Infiniti suspect wanted for a long-term drug investigation.
All of this for a drug investigation?
Started 7 minutes ago, according to Justin Fields.
J Money, that's crazy. All of that for a drug investigation? That sounds crazy.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
He might have something in the vehicle he don't want to be found with.
No, he can't be driving that slow.
I mean,
well, he ain't trying to kill himself.
No, but I'm saying you driving. Man, he was driving like he was obeying
the traffic lights.
The traffic lights.
Really.
Yeah, like he stopped at the red light.
Didn't Al and OJ do it? They didn't speed.
They have to. It was OJ. They had already been communicating with
they
the
already
police.
knew.
But that was a lot of police presence for a drug investigation. But okay. What else somebody say? Just another example of how the experience known as busing is. Okay. Okay. Let me get back to it. Lakeisha checked in. She said, hang on. A similar situation happened to me back in the 80s. I was 4 years old and had half day kindergarten. The bus driver took me to my home address, but was supposed to take me to my babysitter's address. I told her no one was home. She had me get off the bus and knock on the door. She called me back to the bus, and I knew my babysitter's address, and she dropped me off there where Mama Dawson stays. It was a mix-up in the paperwork, but luckily the driver listened to me, didn't drive off, and took me where I needed to go. Again, and that was at 4 years old, having these young people understand, you know, who the emergency contact is, what to do in case of an emergency situation. Somebody said, are the tires blown? We couldn't see it.
No.
School starts at 8, so plenty of kids are already at school. Some schools start late, later than 8 o'clock. I just learned that recently. So everybody wasn't in school yet, possibly.
Yeah, Jermaine's school started late.
Huh?
Yeah.
Never mind. I was just saying that Jermaine's school started late.
While you playing, it did start at 8:30. While you playing,
somebody else
at 8:30.
said good morning. Just another example of how the experiment known as busing is and should be done with. It's too costly and it's time to return to neighborhood schools. Our children spend damn near as much time on the bus as they do in the classrooms when you consider both ways. You know, all interesting and real commentary. All right, so that
Michelle,
was something.
You got one more message I need to share with you.
Okay, go ahead.
They said, please don't let John take up all of our time. It says it right here from DD Comedy. Please, hope John, this John person, don't take up all our time.
You know what? I'm not. I am
Leave John
not.
alone, man. That's my
I am
dude.
not. I am not.
That's my dude.
Thought I needed to share that with you.
I cannot with y'all. All right, so a couple of things I want to do. Also, let me stay local for a moment again, if I can. So yesterday, when I was talking to Attorney Mark Thompson, I brought up how organizations, companies are walking away from diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, right? And I gave kudos to the city of Atlanta and their mayor, who, after being threatened by the federal government, if you don't get rid of anything that is DEI in nature, we will take funding from Hartsfield Atlanta Airport. Well, first of all, let me see if I can find it. Hartsfield Atlanta Airport is, if I think I remember reading this correctly, the busiest airport in the world. In the world. I just want to say that first. And so when they are threatened by the federal government that we will remove dollars, from the airport, the mayor of Atlanta says, well, y'all got to do what y'all got to do, because we're going to do what we got to do. You will not bully us into helping decide and determine who we hire, what we do to try to make sure that marginalized and underrepresented groups, have equal access and opportunity to employment and to do business and contracting with the city of Atlanta. So if you got to take your money, then take your money. And there were a number of, corporations in Atlanta that stood up to back up the mayor. And was like, we got him. We hear it. We understand it. We support it, because this is racist BS. That's what it is. The attack on diversity, equity, inclusion. Go back and read what Chris Rufio, one of the architects of this whole thing, said, was that he was going to make DEI a dirty word. He was going to make critical race theory this major wedge issue, even though he knew it was not being taught in K-12 education. They were looking for wedge issues to rile up the base and create division in communities. And so they landed on, bam, this is it. So all this time, when people acknowledge that the system has been wrong, it has been stacked against Black people. Black people have been intentionally excluded from employment, intentionally excluded from promotions, intentionally paid lower wages, intentionally kept off contracts, you hear the word intentionally, systemically, whether it was done at the hands of government or private businesses and corporations, that there was an effort made to keep Black people out. Okay? And somebody said, we need to correct that. We have been racist. We have abused power. We have been unfair, and we need to address it. Period. That's all this comes down to. Just like reparations, you stole people, you stole their labor, you impregnated their women, you raped their women, you committed crimes, and you ought to pay for that. Today, when you violate a person in these ways, there is a penalty for that, whether that penalty is jail, whether that penalty is financial, and depending on the state you live in, it could be death for folks that got the death penalty. So there's nothing, crazy about folks saying that for the 250-year history of this country, the majority of those years has been a country that has systematically and intentionally discriminated against people of color, Black folks specifically. So all these folks, and then George Floyd, that just pushes it over the top. Well, our great organization, run by Republican Dale Kawanga, the MMAC, the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, have announced that, they're updating their DEI policy and they're getting ready to get rid of it. No shocker under Dale Kawanga. None, zero, Nathan, none. All you had to ever do was sit in committee meetings and listen to him. You wouldn't be surprised that this was the position of MMAC. So the article, in the past, one Milwaukee area business group's strategy to attract and retain employees was to focus on minority and marginalized workers through diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. But MMAC, the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce, is changing its approach as the, quote, political climate shifts on DEI. So whether the political climate, and that's what this is politics. The political climate shifts. Why does the organization's focus shift? Because when Donald Trump and all his racist cronies are no longer in office, what will we do then? So now the racists got to set the tone for the country, and now the country stays on that tone. If it was right to make these efforts in 2020, 2021, 2023, why is it no longer right to make these efforts? But one of the things that they're saying is that they've created the Region of Choice program back in 2018 to help area businesses hire and advance more minority workers. At the membership meeting on October 9th, the organization stated 3,500 minority employees were hired and promoted among participating businesses during the last 5 years. President Dale Kawanga said the Region of Choice initiative is being, quote, revitalized to make Milwaukee a destination for professionals across industries. Milwaukee has strengths to build on and gaps to close. The area has a high concentration of advanced manufacturing, productive workers, but the population growth is lagged behind Midwestern cities. It's business to navigate public policy and uncertainty in the economy, Kawanga said. Quote, the dial of populism has certainly turned up the keys in our political and social discourse. Tariffs, immigration, and supply chain issues and demographic declines are what we are all used to. Kawanga said the association is advocating for increased pupil funding in schools, as well as collaboration with businesses and other community organizations, including an all-in Milwaukee and Milwaukee Tech Hub to retain workers. Corey Joe Biddle, the association's vice president of talent and community affairs, said the group is shifting to a new Region of Choice 2.0 to fit the current social atmosphere. This is not a social atmosphere. This is political. This is political. And I understand that there are any number of businesses that have got to figure out how to adjust, because if dollars dry up, you're no longer in business. Get all that. I do. I get all that. But as the Black folks that's on the receiving end of your updated policies, and now before anybody hires me, it promotes me, you got to bend over backwards and tie yourselves in knots to prove that I am the best person for the job. I am the most qualified person for the job, where Johnny White Boy can step up and nobody's going to question, is he the absolute best choice? Nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to worry about if they hire Johnny White Boy, that, you know, other people in the organization, the political infrastructure is going to question if we should have hired Johnny White Boy. So here we are, Black people in 2025, right back to where my grandfather was, your grandmother was, where some of you were when you were first coming on jobs and being considered for promotions, and people got to try to justify giving you advancement. People got to try to justify Jermaine Rideout as a hire. But don't nobody have to justify hiring Johnny White Boy. Ain't nobody going to question it. Ain't nobody going to say, are you sure he was the best candidate for the job? Are you sure this isn't about, you know, some type of bias or, you know, favoritism? Are you sure? I don't care how the MMAC dresses it up. It's wrong. I don't care how any of these companies dress it up. It's wrong. You either believe in something and you understand the value in it, or you don't. And the fact that you all are letting these people make y'all believe that saying the word diversity is a bad thing. Saying the word inclusion is something to lose funding over. It's disgusting. It is literally disgusting. And if this man did not have the financial wherewithal of the government and the ability to cut off dollars, this would not be getting traction. But because Donald Trump and his cronies around him, and they really are the architects of this, not his stupid behind, they are the architects of this nonsense and this racism. He is a convenient tool to get it done. He's racist too, but he's a convenient tool to get it done. You are able to shift the entire paradigm of a nation back to ignorance. And you got all of these companies who, for no other reason than the almighty dollar, are like, no, we got to go along. We have to do it. MATC, the majority of them kids walking around on y'all campus are kids of color, Black people in particular. But the federal government threatens MATC that if y'all got any kind of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, you're not getting federal dollars. And what do? All the people of color in top management in them 4 jobs, they gone. You out the door. Well, how come ain't nobody damn white get fired? And universities have tried to push back. But at the end of the day, people will tell you, we don't have an endowment like Harvard University. We don't have the resources that if the feds pull their money out, we can continue to operate. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Because I'm the wrong sister to have this conversation with. Because I am of the opinion, then let it shut down. Because the harm that you are doing is bigger than somebody being able to access education. You are changing the trajectory of this nation in relationship to access and opportunity, fairness, and hiring. So it don't matter if they graduate from MATC, because when they get ready to go look for a job, you're going to have white folks scared to give them a job because they're going to be accused of DEI. They're going to be accused of some type of issue. So that is the thing that I need for people to understand, that you do not get to walk away from these policies and these initiatives And just, oh, because of the political climate, oh, because of the social, issues and the things that are going on, we are in trouble and we are worried about our funding. And that's what they're doing. And what we have got to understand as Black folks, when we start to see these companies walk away from DEI the same way with Target, Walmart been skating, it's a whole bunch of companies been skating, we got to do and move differently. We got to apply our resources differently. We got to shift our dollars differently. We absolutely do. So I'm going to take a quick break, but I'm just beyond words with all these companies. And the few, Barack Obama just got done talking about this. Donald Trump tells law firms who they can and can't represent, and the biggest law firms in the country capitulate, get on their knees and bow down. I'm like, all y'all need to go hear the speech that Letitia James gave yesterday at a campaign event for Mamdani, who's running for mayor of New York, when she said, I will not bow, I will not break, I will not bend. That whole piece about Black women being some of the strongest in this game when it comes to fighting this dude. That's why it's no surprise that 300,000 to 400,000 Black women are now out of work. And who's raising hell about it? Where is the support? Where is the support? We might as well be that little girl standing in the middle of the street crying and screaming, we need help. And people just walking past us. Let 300,000 or 400,000 white women be out of work in 9 months and see what the response is in this country. Let 300,000 or 400,000 white men be out of work in 9 months in this country and see what the response is. And for the Black folks that supported this administration, what's your response? When this man tells people, oh, we're going to lay off employees and we're going to be using their political identification, or if they work for politically, inexpedient programs like, oh, I don't know, education, to get rid of people. MMAC is dead wrong. And I love Corey Joe Biddle, but y'all dead wrong. Y'all dead wrong. Y'all dead wrong. Y'all dead wrong. Because this is the wishes of a small group of people. It is not the wishes of all of America. And because y'all dress it up with your little names and stuff, it's still wrong. And we have got to stop supporting organizations and people that do this stuff to us. Black folks, a bullseye is on our back. We're going to have to turn around and fight back. Let me take a break. I'll be right back. Family, welcome back to the show. So I am going to grab a couple of these calls. I do have a guest in the studio, so I will be actually weaving some of my former comments into the upcoming conversation. But let me grab these callers. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good. I want to converse on about the logics, the sense of the way white folks think. Cause here, I think they are the weakest race on this earth. You know, if a predator is after a white girl and she's in her house and she's in front of her front door, instead of exiting the front door, what she would do, she would run up a whole flight of stairs while the predator is after her, go into her bedroom and go into a closet and close the door and sit in the corner where she'll have no way out. Now let that be a black lady. She'll exit that front door. She will. And white men, the way they solve their problems, if they in this front room, when they get angry, instead of just sitting down and try to reason themselves out, they'll go to their shelf where the mirror is and shove everything off on the floor, breaking up everything, you know, and then just go into a hissy fit. And they both of them, only way they solve their problem is go downstairs into a bar and pour a drink.
All right, thank you, bro. I appreciate the call. One of the things that we got to do is make sure we don't generalize, because there are white women that's gonna fight back. Make no mistake about it. And there are white men who certainly will not handle their grievances in that way. So one of the things we got to always make sure we do is not to overgeneralize. Let me go to the next caller. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello.
Hey, good morning, Michelle. How are you?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. I've been listening, you know, and you know, the black people of this country, you know, sometimes we could be our biggest downfall in a lot of cases. We have 14 African American billionaires in this country. We have 1.79 millionaire African American millionaires in this country. Not to mention all of the entertainers that we have that make this country go, that stand on stage time and time again. It does not mention the state of the African Americans in this country to encourage us to do better. The athletes. We could do better if we come together.
All right.
And you know, we cannot continue to just blame our reparations. We are not getting out here fighting for our reparations, okay? As long as we don't get out here and make a statement and fight for our reparations, we will never get our reparations. Do you agree or not?
Yes, that's definitely a valid point. And there are people that are doing it, not enough, but there definitely are people that are doing it. There are whole work groups that have been committed to this for years, legislation that has been introduced for years. So it's not like there aren't people that are doing it. We don't have the numbers in mass that we should see. But yes, sir, I agree with that.
So if we don't get out here and demand what we know we deserve, ain't nothing gonna happen. Ain't nothing been happening.
All right, fair enough.
As black people. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. So look, y'all, let me make a transition. And John, I apologize. Because when I was looking at the timing, I should have started this interview with Claiborne Benson earlier. And so I didn't. So I apologize. And let me first of all welcome him to the studio. Good morning, Claiborne.
Good to be here. Good morning, community.
Nice to see you. So I was talking about before I went to the break, Black women, and you know, some of the things that we've been seeing, particularly in relationship to unemployment. And one of the things that there is a group of women that are doing this project. It's called the 92 Icon Project, and they are collecting the stories of Black women who have been impacted, particularly as it relates to federal layoffs and unemployment, because the concern is that if nobody is documenting these stories, we become just a footnote in this period right now. But we know that the lives that are being impacted is real, and this information, we need to be able to learn from it. So people are putting together basically, information for archives for future years, for folks to be able to come in and look at this period of time when Black women have been impacted in such an incredible and massive way. When we look at the cancellation of DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives, and how it's disproportionately impacting Black employees, high profile dismissals of women like Dr. Peggy Carr, who was a chief statistician in the education department. You look at CQ Brown, who gets let go in the military. So there is this need for us to document, the same way we can talk about the Tulsa race riots and we can talk about Black Wall Street. It was because somebody archived that information. Right. Somebody, it wasn't just, and even if it was an oral story, it was recorded, it was preserved, it was put somewhere. I've actually played narratives from formerly enslaved people that we are so incredibly blessed to actually hear their voices talking about what it meant to be enslaved. And so a couple of things with your visit today, Claiborne. Number one, October is National
Archives Month.
Archives Month.
Yes, it is.
And
Very much so.
And so take a second and first of all, just tell people the organization.
Yeah, I'm Claiborne Benson. For those that you don't know, I'm the director at Wisconsin Black Historic Society, and we've been there for 37 years. And we celebrate Archives Month. I serve on the board of the State Historic Society's Archive Committee, and we take it very seriously. We have archives of all sorts. We have Reuben Harpo's archives, and although he is like 90 years old, in his heyday, every major a business initiative came across his desk, and we have it all, as well as many other things. OIC's material, they're on Martin Luther King Drive. We have obituaries, literally 15,000 obituaries. We've been collecting them for years, and it's online for people to access and to take a look at. We have Lloyd Bobby's papers. We have a truck pull up the back door and boxes on top of boxes, a whole room dedicated to Lloyd Bobby's desegregation of the school systems. He firmly believed that our kids need to get a good education. Father James Grappi's Catholic wrap and many of his clothing that he's received. Materials from, or rather music, jazz music that people have collected over the years. Ted Mack, People's Beer, again, Moore's Barbershop's Barber Cheer, and Twos. All sorts of Black studies that have been written about Black people over the course of years. We take archiving very seriously. And one day, all of this material, at least people will be calling on it and need it. It has a shelf life, and that's okay. But we think it's very important for our community to preserve its history, from the shoes to the jackets to the shirts that Lloyd Bobby wore every day. He has this clown-looking jacket that he wore. It was just part of his personality that he wore every day on the streets of Milwaukee. We have it. So again, preserving and archiving our material and our history is essential for our young people to remember what has happened to us.
And in what you're describing, many of us, whether we use this terminology to describe it or not, yes, we have archivists in our family.
We do.
And we have archives that are connected to our family. All that box with all them family photos.
That's right. Yeah.
There is a keeper of the family history.
That's right.
And in my case, and it breaks my heart every time I think about it. As we got older, I became that person. Okay. And then we had a flood and I lost everything. My
goodness.
So there are no pictures that I have of either grandparent now. Neither grandparent. So I couldn't go back and show my my grandson, these are your great grandparents. Like all that stuff is gone now. Birth certificates. But there are folks, and I'm gonna tell you, Keon used to be one of those people.
Yes, his
that,
family
yes,
history.
yes,
Very
his
much so.
family
He
history.
took it seriously.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That boy would make you so mad. He could walk you all the way back.
He was writing a book.
He was writing. I mean,
and reading books on the subject.
He would,
yes.
and I love that he was making the trek around the country.
Yes.
He heard he had folks down in so and so, and he made contact. And next thing I know, he said, "I'm on the road." I'm like, "Where you going?" "I'm going to meet cousin, Bubba, and blah blah blah." And then he'll call me from there, and he was like, "We sitting on the porch, Michelle. Say hi." I'm like, "Yeah." So there are people that understood the value in this.
Right.
And then when you go back and you realize, like, wait a minute, and I had to do this in my family, the number of people in my family that actually were involved in politics and the civil rights fights, and some of the planning that was done for some of these marches were done in my great-grandparents' house. And I'm just like going, oh, so I'm thinking I'm the little, new jack in the family that care about, and like, no.
They've been doing it all along.
Girl, you come from a long line of this.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that archivist piece is very important.
Community.
And so if anybody has these things, because sometimes family members come across the stuff, they don't know what to do with it. Should people
anything from we collect silver cups and plates to jackets to pants, we collect papers, notes, we collect it all.
Okay.
And the emphasis is putting it in a perspective that can be used by somebody 15, 20, 30 years from now to tell the story of our people.
I mean, because like I even think about when I go on these museum tours. So I remember the first time I went to Dr. King's house in Atlanta, and you get to walk the narrow little, and they had a nice house from back in the day, but these rooms are narrow, and they had all the period furniture in there, and you're like, and then you realize, like in some cases, people have donated this stuff, but it was very similar to what the Kings had in their home. And, so it helps us to paint that authentic picture of what we see.
What life was like for them during that period of time.
Okay. Well, speaking of museums.
So Archive Month is the month of October. And so people need to, and we're going to have an Archive Day at the museum. So that's going to be October the 25th. That's going to be on a Saturday.
And so what does an archive day look like? What do you do?
Take a look at the various kinds of things in which we've collected over the course
of
and so we collected, I mean, obviously we're bringing attention to it this month, but we do it in November. We'll do it in December. People pull up with cars and with photographs and pictures and paintings. Say, hey, is there a home for this in your place? This is a picture of my grandmama, and it's about to be lost. Obituaries of all sorts. And so, we collect that material and we've just acquired a building next door to us, and much of that material goes in there.
Okay.
So it's very important for us to preserve our history because it tells a story. And we're all in the business of preserving our history, totally, whether it's in artifacts or it's letters, military letters, uniforms. The whole gamut is what Archives Month is all about. And it's not just us that is doing it. People all over the state and all over the nation is collecting archive materials.
All right, so let me do this. I need to take a quick break. But when we come back, I also want to talk about the fact that I understand that you are doing something that I literally was talking about doing with a group of friends, getting some folks together to understand the Underground Railroad.
That's right.
And its pathway through Wisconsin. We have some historic sites here that many of people in our community are not taking advantage of, have never gone to some of these places and locations. So we'll talk about that on the other side.
Fantastic.
All right, y'all. Let me take a quick break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Y'all know y'all got that picture of Big Mama on y'all shelf. And y'all like, okay, I need to make sure I hand this off to somebody so we always know who these people were. We'll be right back, y'all. All right, y'all. Taking a minute, talking with none other than Mr. Claiborne Benson. I know your name.
Thank you, my sister. Sometimes people don't. I'm trying to help them out.
Know your name,
and
bruh.
I'm proud of my name.
Clearly. And just having this moment in the studio, it took me a second to come back because Debo was saying we had somebody drop by a obituary from O.C. White's funeral last week. And he was like, "Hey, does this go in the archives?"
Yes,
and
it does.
Claiborne
Yes,
has
it
said,
does.
"That get here, walking up out of here with something." Yes,
That's
you
some
gotta
archive.
love
God is good, ain't
it all the time. So the other thing I had brought up is before the break is that you are doing something that we have talked about doing. Lakeisha and I, a couple of friends and I, being able to either create a tour or take groups of friends up to Milton.
That's right. Yeah.
House in terms of being able to get information about the Underground Railroad.
Yes.
But we've even talked about like the necessity of a tour in the state that looks at major Black historical landmarks or aspects of history. So what is it that you have got going? What are you planning?
So we're going to run by the Cathedral Park first, the Cathedral Square.
So this is a tour you're going to do?
It's a tour we're going to do.
A bus tour?
Bus tour.
Okay.
And we're going to highlight, if any book you read about the Underground Railroad and Ezekiel Gillespie, not Ezekiel Gillespie, but Joshua Glover is going to say there's 5,000 abolitionists come out of jail, Republicans and such. And so only 500 broke them out. But that's how the system is elaborating, bragging on themselves that 5,000 comes from the Waukesha, southeastern Wisconsin, and broke Glover out of jail and send them. Now, that's a big deal. It's a big deal because they are defying the fugitive slave law. They're defying the Constitution of the United States and breaking him out of jail. It's clearly only 500 people actually break him out of jail, but that's a large number in and itself too. The Republicans' action, it's not just a Black story; it is that of a white story. Southeastern Wisconsin Europeans, Waukesha.
And just for people that may not be fully familiar, because we know we got some younger listeners, Joshua Glover was a fugitive enslaved person who escaped from
St. Louis.
Yep. And so he actually had been down in Racine, had sought asylum in Racine.
Yes, along the Root River.
And then 2 years, he had been there for 2 years.
2 years.
And
52
then
he comes, and 54 he's arrested.
Right. And people had learned that he was here, fugitive.
That's right.
In terms of
much like Paul Revere is running through the neighborhoods and raising attention to this, so the Sherman Booth go and bring attention, and all of the people gather at Cathedral Square, and they're about to break him out of jail. It take them a few hours to do it, but they do. They break him out of jail, and they eventually take him to Brown's Farm on Fond du Lac Avenue, to Waukesha, and then to Burlington, Wisconsin, where he hides out for 3 weeks, and eventually gets on a boat and goes to Canada, a place called Sandwich, Canada, in Winston.
Okay.
So that's his journey. But people still talking about that because Glover is a very important in a national picture. Glover's important. We talk about other runaways, Harriet Tubman and other people, but none of them are violating the United States Constitution. It's only in the case of Glover, right after the Great Compromise of 1850, when Congress gets together and say, hey, we want to resolve this issue. There are two major issues. One, northern states versus southern states. The numbers have to match because Congress is concerned about being outvoted in certain instances. And then the second important thing is in the original Constitution, the fugitive slave law is real.
Right.
And they want to reaffirm that in 1850, and it is passed. But here comes 52. Man, Glover is broken out of jail. 500 people. Well, they say 5,000, but 500 or 5,000 don't matter. They have violated the United States Constitution. And they said, Right. That's what, and they still brag about it today.
They do.
They brag about it today. You hear what I'm saying to you? They
because
come in
helping people understand the state of Wisconsin, in effect, goes against the federal government and declares the Fugitive Slave Act unconstitutional.
That's right.
They no, we're not having it.
Supreme Court even ruled that it's unconstitutional.
And we were the only state to do that.
Well, no, the only state to get away with it.
Well,
other states do it at midnight, when the soldiers are gone, when they know they can get away with it. Wisconsin does.
We don't want to get away with it. Okay.
In court.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Okay.
In broad daylight. And so that's what they do.
So you are taking people then to Cathedral Square.
That's right, I am.
So that they can understand that this is where this unfolds.
where it actually occurred. And
so go ahead. What's next?
And then we're going to Milton. And then from the Milton, we're going to walk along the rivers where the Underground Railroad actually. Now, people didn't come up they use the rivers as guides. They didn't have a vote. They walked along the rivers and they use that. Then we're going to make our way to Waukesha and take a look at the many Underground Railroad locations. We're not going to go into them, but I want to show them. If you walk along the river, you look to the east, you see this whole cluster of churches.
Okay.
That is where they head out of, in those churches, in those basements.
In Waukesha.
In Waukesha. Waukesha is the regional capital for the Underground Railroad in the state of Wisconsin. And they proud of it.
Well, I mean, it is something to
it
is something to be proud of. But today what we understand about some of this political, geographical region nonsense. There are Black people, I'm sure, going Waukesha.
Yeah. It's hard to believe.
Yeah.
It's real hard to believe. It's like they like you or something. But don't be fooled. Don't be fooled at all, because I can tell you that.
But as we would tell people, I may not agree with slavery, but I don't necessarily means I want to be bothered with you either. I just don't think you should be enslaved.
Yeah.
Okay, so you leave Waukesha.
Yeah, we leave Waukesha, and then we eventually come back to Milwaukee. We'll have a bite to eat on the way too.
So you're going to go to Milton House?
That's right.
Okay, is that before Waukesha or you?
Oh, that'll be before Waukesha.
Okay,
we're going to go to Milton House.
And so for folks, and we've talked about it before, but just as a reminder, or for folks that may not be familiar with Milton House,
it's in Rock County.
Okay,
and it's near Highway 12. I don't know the exact.
And there, people will actually be able to get off and do the tour there.
Yes, it is. There'll be a guide that we will actually have, and we will go through the whole walk. It's an old hotel. Harriet Tubman stayed there when she spoke at the Beloit College. So it's a hotel, and it's a stagecoach hotel where people would spend the night. But in the basement of this hotel, there is a tunnel that leads from one building to another building. And so that is what they're going to actually see, where people hide. Now, it ain't like people stayed in dirt, in holes in the dirt, and back closets, and attics. People stayed all sorts of places. But this is just one of many places where people survived themselves as they made their way north to various locations, and they spent the night. These places provided clothing, food, maps, and even guides to their next destination.
And one thing, and I was looking for while you were talking, because I saw early contradictions of whether or not Harriet Tubman actually came to Wisconsin. So when and even if you look at it now on Google,
no, not Harriet Tubman,
Sojourner. That's what I was going to say. Sojourner.
She was a speaker.
At
Beloit College.
Okay, because I just wanted to make sure, because I'm like, no,
she didn't come.
But
I said it to say that people really brag about Sojourners and her journey and the things that she did, and I'm not trying to take that away, but it's Wisconsin that defies the United States Constitution.
Okay.
Sojourner, did it. She knows it was against the law, but thousands of people, Glover does it, and it's violating the United States Constitution. And that's significant and important. It's one of the things that hurt the Civil War into place.
We definitely know that these are catalytic.
That's right.
Catalytic, events, I should say, catalysts for some of the stuff that we saw connected to the Civil War.
It is.
But Claiborne, let me ask you. So, why did you think it was important to do this now?
Well, we've been doing it. We just finished doing another Underground Railroad trip, and we went through the state just in Milwaukee.
Okay.
We just did this about a month, 6 weeks ago.
Okay.
Where we went to Brown's Farm. I showed them exactly where that was. We went to Cathedral Square. We talked about the significance of Cathedral Square, and that's the same thing. But that's a big deal, breaking this man out of jail when Congress has just agreed, and even Wisconsin had to sign on a dotted line to this amendment to the Constitution, and they still violated this law.
Okay, so for folks that are interested, because now you have piqued a lot of people, like, okay, this sounds actually cool. Never done anything like this before.
Yeah.
What do they do? How can people either go or what should they do?
Yes, thank you for asking people. You can call the museum, and that number is 414-372-7677. We're going November the 1st. That's on a Saturday. We want people to be there at 8:30. It's going to be an all-day thing. We'll get back at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe a tad earlier, but get back at 5 o'clock. And we're going to go to Underground Railroad locations where people got food and nourishment. We're going to go to Cathedral Square. We're going to go to talk about the significance of what they did. We're going to go to the Milton House. We're going to have a bite to eat. And then we're going to walk along the river, showing where the underground route. We're going to take a look at some artifacts, and we're going to pass by in Waukesha.
Okay, so I'm up against the clock because this is the day, one of the days that I end early. But someone said, is there a minimum age for this tour that you recommend? Can they bring their younger children? And someone else wanted to know, and let me go back to the message, but it was something about how much of this is walking, because they just needed to know for the purposes of
not a lot of walking. Not a lot of walking.
Not a lot of walking.
No,
okay.
not a lot. We're gonna.
And then
there's only a couple places we're going to actually get off the bus, and that's going to be Cathedral Square, and at Milton House.
And then someone else wanted to know, was there a cost to attend?
There is a cost. There's $60
per person,
regardless of age. It's $60, and that's the minimum cost. Please believe me, I'm trying to keep the budget as low as I possibly can, but it's $60 a person. There's costs on every end for me. When we did this a couple of years ago, it was a lot cheaper, but the bus fares have just gone up through the roof. So yeah, $60 per person.
And I mean, I just think that, by the time you do some other things that you can do, it's easy enough to spend $60, even though, you can't ever scoff at that amount. But the idea that so many people are not familiar with actually how Black history is interwoven throughout the state.
That's right.
To be able, and then you don't have to drive, get on the bus, have lunch. It is a really educational opportunity, and hopefully folks will take advantage of that. And I'm trying to remember, I think I got sorority meeting that day. Because I'm like, that sounds like something really good to do.
You'll learn a lot.
You definitely will learn.
You'll learn a lot, awful lot. It's something you won't realize that have happened, but you'll learn a lot.
Okay, well, with that, I gotta wrap the show for this end.
Okay,
but we'll have to get you back in because there are other things that you guys are doing. I know you're going to be doing a reshowing of the 6888.
That's right. Anna Mae Robinson, giving tribute to her for people to understand the significance and that she made to our country and to Milwaukee's community. She's a significant person, and we want people to remember her.
And we know that we got to get you back in because we got to get ready to start talking. I can't believe it's time to start talking about Kwanzaa
already.
It's that time.
It's a time.
So I will definitely
reaffirm your African roots.
Come on
Be
now.
Black if you want to be. I'm sorry. God is good. I'm sorry.
I know my mother used to say that all the time. Somebody would say something. My mom would be like, honey, I'm as black as I want to be.
That's right.
I was like, is that a want? Like, really? But later, when I got older, I understood exactly what she meant. But that was one of her things, baby. Don't mess with Mozella because you think you black as I want to be. And head shaking. Oh, you got your... All right. So look, family, that's the show for today. I will get to the other things that I said I was going to talk about because Letitia James, that speech that she gave, I got to play excerpts from that. We'll cover as much as we can tomorrow. But I just want to say how much I appreciate Claiborne Benson. Somebody has to do this work. I go to other cities and you see markers about Black history. You see the Black history tours. And I'm like, we ought to have more of this in Milwaukee. So I'm glad to know that we have these
Can
things.
I mention one thing before we get off there?
Yeah,
the mayor has just made me chairman of the naming of buildings and streets. I am chairman of that committee.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Let me call the mayor and ask him about his little selection process.
That is good. And I want to send you a list of people that we made sure that the streets are being named in their honor, African American.
Yeah, let me hurry up and call the mayor, because in my day, ain't got no street. nobody better have no street name. Me and what you say?
We're gonna name an alley after you. Michelle Bryant Lane.
You said an alley?
Yeah. Be a lane.
That sounds like something you should have said to Jermaine, but you're gonna say it to me? Okay. Let's hurry up.
Driving up the street crazy.
let's hurry up, go leave the show so I can have a talk with Debo. All right, family. I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Bruds, I appreciate you. Clark. I appreciate y'all, fam. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Allie, close out the show.